It has been a crazy week in the world of F1, kicking off on Sunday with the British Grand Prix, where Nico Hülkenberg got his first career podium, starting from 19th on the grid. And on Wednesday morning, shocking news as Christian Horner was fired as the team principal of Red Bull, a position he has held for 20 years since the team rebranded from Jaguar in 2005. Kicking off with the podium, an amazing drive by Nico. He started 19th, and after the crazy first lap, he was in P11 going into the first safety car. He kind of hung around in that area before pitting at lap 10, dropping down to 16th. He then ended up jumping all the way to P5, lap 13 for the third and final safety car period of the race. He then went up to P4, which he held until lap 34, where he passed Stroll and held P3 until the end of the race. I mean, just like last week in Austria, he carved through the field. He has taken this car beyond anything I would have expected this year. And I mean, I'm excited to see A, how the rest of this season goes for Sauber and Hulkenberg. And B, we've brought it up on the show so many times. We sound like broken records at this point, but how he will fare in the Audi with the regulations next year, as well as an engine built specifically for the car. So very excited to see where Sauber and Hulkenberg go. Congratulations to him for an amazing drive over this past weekend in Silverstone. However, early Wednesday morning, something I was not expecting, and I'm sure the whole F1 world was not expecting. Christian Horner fired at Red Bull as their team principal. Laurent Mekies moving up into that role, and then Racing Bull's new team principal, Alan Permane. So, first off, Red Bull has been struggling this year relative to where they were in the past. We've talked about that on the show. But this was not something I was expecting, at least at this point in the season. We are on a break, but it's only a 2 week break. It's not even the actual summer break, which is after the, I think, Hungarian Grand Prix. Let me double check. Yes, after the Hungarian Grand Prix. So we're not even in the summer break yet. So this is shocking news for me. So first of all, what I've seen is Horner lost support from both sides of ownership within the Red Bull team, which doesn't shock me. The team, as I said, struggled this year. They haven't been good. Well, relative. They've obviously still, the second car has not been good, as we've talked about on this past week's episode. But I feel like this change could have catastrophic effects on Racing Bulls as well. Mekis has been a great team principal for them this year. He's been there for 18 months, and now they're calling him up to the main team. This is shocking. Hermain has been the sporting director in support of Peter Bayer as CEO of Racing Bulls. So he's been high up in there. I think he'll be able to continue that charge that Racing Bulls has had as one of the top midfield teams. However, who knows how Red Bull has had having Horner for so long at Red Bull, having a new team principal could have either great effects and really build up that second car, or could have catastrophic effects as it's just as you are taking Red Bull and Christian Horner went hand in hand. Getting rid of him could have an uh, do insane damage to Red Bull compared to what they've had already. So, I mean, another thing is what happens with Verstappen. Verstappen has been on he's been on Helmut Marko's side of the Red Bull team, and Jos Verstappen has definitely been pushing against Horner. So you do wonder, is they say, will Max stay? Or as we talked about the rumors of Mercedes, does Max view Red Bull as a sinking ship at this point and dip for a team like Mercedes? Or I mean, really, it's only team that's expressed interest. I mean, any team would obviously take him, other than maybe McLaren. But who would you get rid of it if you're one of those top teams? Do you get rid of like? I mean, we talked about George and we talked about George and Kimmy on this past episode. But I mean, looking at Ferrari, who would you get rid of? Would you get rid of Lewis? He's older, but he's still shown he can drive the car. Leclerc is younger, but he's hasn't gone to the heights he should be at. But then again, that comes back to the car. So you wonder where could Max go from here that wouldn't damage the team that he would be heading to in a way. But then again, the guy he replaced would probably just head to Red Bull. But that's just a guess. I'm not really. I'm just talking about rumors here. But and you talk back to getting rid of Checo, as we saw that F1 movie yesterday, so Checo was obviously in it. But does getting rid of Checo kind of put the Red Bull team in a situation where they have that second car that isn't able to be driven to its full potential? Or would we've still been with this, but I think getting rid of Horner kind of distances himself from the Checo extension and then replacement, as well as obviously all the misconduct allegations that were investigated, which I don't remember what the result of those were. Or if, yeah, I don't remember. Investigation result. He was cleared in early 2024, but getting rid of him kind of gets rid of that negative PR storm. Bernie Ecclestone called Christian Horner an idiot in relation to that said investigation. So you wonder if that plays a role in it. So who knows? Obviously, we're not in Red Bull and we're not uh, seeing what's happening with them. But I mean, that was crazy seeing that early on a Wednesday morning because you don't really see something that crazy that early that often. But it's F1. What do you expect? Um, Looking ahead, we on July 27th we have the Belgian Grand Prix at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Love Spa, great circuit, full iconic corners. This year, obviously, I think La Source, Rideau Rouge, and the Combs at the end of Kemmel Street. Those are going to be uh, big ones, I'd say, this year. Just given that it seems there's been a lot more passing just at the ends of straights, given that these cars are creating a lot more dirty air than they were at the start of the regulations. So I'd expect most of the passes to come there. I don't know what tires Pirelli are bringing. The C4 will be the soft, the C3 will be the medium, and the C1 will be the hard. They're skipping a compound. So very excited to see how that changes strategy for Belgium. Probably get more depth into that into the next episode. But just wanted to do a little emergency, uh, quick little reaction piece given the craziness that has occurred over this past week. Nico podium, Horner fired at Rebel, Mecky's called up, and Alan Permain slots in as RB team principal. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode of Good Times and Finish Lines.